Okay, well, a very good morning, students. So today we are going to discuss another topic of renewable energy sources, that is geothermal power plants. So in the first class of renewable energy resources, we were discussed about the wind energy, right? So how the wind energy can be utilized for generation of power. Okay, what are the important components of wind power plant? Okay, each component functions, working principle, and how we can calculate the wind speed or wind velocity, and how we can calculate the power generation through wind. Okay, so what are the formulas we have used, and what are the design aspects we have to consider while design a wind turbine and wind power plant. All those things we were discussed in the last class. So today we are going to discuss another one type of renewable resources is geothermal. Okay, so geothermal power plant we are going to discuss. Okay. So first we will move to the today agenda of the session. So in that we are going to discuss about the introduction of first geothermal power plant, then definition for geothermal power plant, then working of geothermal power plant, application of geothermal energy, generation of electricity. So what are the advantages in the geothermal power plant? What are the disadvantages? And how the future trends going to be a geothermal power plant? Okay, so these are the things we are going to discuss today. So that is the today agenda of the session. Okay, right. So first we will see what is mean by geothermal energy. So it is one type of renewable energy. It is the heat energy. So normally geothermal energy. So in the name itself, it has a meaning geothermal. Okay. So it has a heat energy. Okay. That heat is stored in the earth. So that is called geo. Okay. Geo means earth. So the heat energy, the thermal energy is stored in the earth that can be used for develop the power, that will be used to generate the power. So it is a heat energy stored in the earth generated by natural sources. So it is a natural source. So because of a lot of decays, okay, radioactive decays present in the earth surface, okay, after so much of years later, okay, it form a heat energy, okay, in the earth surface. That heat energy is left over from the earth formation, okay, from the residue of heat left from the over from the earth formation. The rest of heat energies come out from meteorite impacts. So due to some geological effects, so some heat energy can be exposed outside. That means heat energy come out. Okay, so normally in the form of lava, something like that. நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம், எரிமலைன்னு சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, something like that. So vulcanite அது மாற வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா எக்ஸ்போஸ் ஆகும். ஸோ அந்த மாற இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த ஜோன்ஸ்ல, ஓகே, வல்கனஸ் ஏரியாஸ்ல இருக்கிற ஏரியாவில் தான் மோஸ்ட்லி தி கைண்ட் ஆஃப் ஹீட் எனர்ஜி இஸ் ஸ்டோர்ட் இன் தி எர்த். ஓகே, ஸோ வாட் ஆர் த ஏரியாஸ் இன் த எர்த் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, பர்டிகுலர்லி இந்த ஏரியா ஆஃப் பிலிப்பைன்ஸ், ஸோ ஜப்பான், அண்ட் அப்புறம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஐஸ்லாண்ட், ஓகே, இந்த மாதிரி கண்ட்ரீஸ், யூஎஸ், இந்த மாதிரி கண்ட்ரீஸில் we can see a lot of Indonesia and the other countries, we can see lot of volcanoes. Okay, so in the volcanoes areas mostly the kind of heat energy is present in the earth. So that heat energy can be utilized for generation of power. So how we can generate the power? So what automatically, so water should be sent into that area and heat can be captured and water is converted into steam. That steam can be generated for power generation. That is one method. And some area maybe hot gases is presented. Okay, so normally only hot gases present in the hot rock area. That hot steam can be trapped. அதாவது ட்ராப்னா என்ன சொல்றோம்னா, எக்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணி எடுத்து we can send it to the turbine for expansion process. Due to that expansion, the turbines are rotated, so power will be generated. So lot of different type of technique we are using for generation of power with the help of this heat energy stored in the earth. So that is we are called as geothermal. So general definition for geothermal is it is the heat energy stored in the air generated by natural source. So that is called geothermal energy. Okay. So this is I told how the heat energy is developed because of high decay material present, so the radioactive decays, okay, present in there. Uh, After a million of years, the heat will be generated in the earth core. Okay, so that is the source of heat. Okay, so with help of that source of heat, we can generate power. So that is the main source of geothermal energy. Okay, so heat is taken from the earth core. Okay. Next, different types of geothermal resources. What are the different type of geothermal resources? There are three different type of geothermal resources. One is natural steam reservoir. So naturally hot steam may be available. That is I told first one. Okay. So a hot gases may be presented in some areas or reservoirs. Okay, that hot gas steam can be utilized for power generation. Some areas hot water may be presented. Okay, so due to the heat and heat present in the air, some and also water is maybe there means okay. Normally the source is in the form of hot water, so that water can be used for power generation. Okay, converted into steam and then it will be generated for power. Okay, so that is another type of geothermal sources. And the last one is geopressurized reservoir. Some area the pressure of the earth is more. That means the pressure of inside of your gas or water is very high. Okay, because of layer stone formations. Okay, the rocks are moving inside the earth. So due to that, high amount of pressure may be increased. So in the reservoir area also it is happening. Due to that, high pressure difference will be developed. That high pressure is caused for the heat energy. Okay, so that heat energy can be utilized for power generation. So by this way, there are three different type of geothermal resources is normally available in the earth. One is in the form of steam, second in the form of hot water, and third one is in the form of pressurized water. Okay. So with the help of these three resources, we can develop the power. Okay. How does the system work? So how the geothermal system is works means direct source function by sending water downward to the heater by earthworms. So where the earth region is to be hot, that the area to be identified. In that area, with help of drilling hole, okay, we have sent the water inside the rocks or in the heat region area. So automatically water is converted into steam. That steam can be pumped, okay, and can be utilized for power generation. So by this way, the system is work. And the heat pump is also used to take up the heat from the underground water to substitute that heat of the house. So what mainly used here to supply the water and to suck the water from the inner portion of your rock to upper portion of your earth surface is with help of heat pump. Okay. So with help of heat pump, we are using to take up the heat from underground water to the substance that heat of the houses. Okay. So normally heat pump can be utilized for uh, sending the water inside the ground underground. Okay. So that means underground means that heat zone area. Okay. Then after the water is cooled, then injected back to the earth. So these are the three system, three stages. We can convert the water into steam. That steam can be utilized for power generation. So by this way, the geothermal system is works. So here you can see the geothermal power plant. Okay. So the first one is the rock area. In that rock, inside the rock area, you have a hot zone. Okay, hot earth zone is presented. So what about second one? Second one is the steam generator, and the third one is turbine and power generation unit. Okay, that is generator, and the fourth one is cooling water. Okay, that is after removing from your steam from the turbine is low pressure low temperature that goes to condenser with help of cooling tower. Okay, water steam is converted into again uh, water vapor that will be injected okay into the rock well source okay high heat zone area again it will pump with help of heat pump. So by this way a geothermal power plant is work. So these are the important components. Okay, so in that hot area okay water is first pumped okay injected. Okay, so with help of heat pump okay we are inject the water in the hot zone area. So due to the hot condition of your hot condition of your area okay the water gets heated up and converted into steam and it will goes to second one further the steam is generated into superheated steam. So completely water is converted into fullest steam fully steam. Okay, after that superheated steam that is called that superheated steam will be goes to turbine that will expand it. Due to the expansion turbine blades okay hit due to the expansion. So turbine shaft is rotated. Turbine and generator both are coupled. So generators are also rotated. So power will be generated. Again the pressure, temperature, cooling tower with help of cooling water circulation. Again, vapor is converted into low pressure vapor is converted to low pressure water, then it will be injected. Likewise, this plant, this cycle is repeated, okay, in the plant. So this is the working principle of geothermal power plant. So it is very simple. So what are the applications of geothermal energy? What are the applications if you see? Space heating purpose, air conditioning purpose, drying purpose, agriculture or aquaculture. Aquaculture, water utilization, okay, and greenhouses, okay. Then hot water generation, melting of snow. All those purpose we can use this geothermal energy. That this help us, this heat energy can be utilized this kind of various purpose. So these are the some of the purpose. Okay, here in this slide you can see some of the purpose. Generation of electricity can be used in four methods of geothermal. One is dry steam plant. In that first method of geothermal power plant, dry steam method, only a steam is trapped that will be sucked into the turbine and power will be generated. Again the condensed water again sent to the hot well zone, then converted into steam. Likewise, this dry steam plant is one type of geothermal power generation. Second one, flash steam power plant. So flash steam plant means the water should be injected to the well source, that hot well source. Then it will pump. That will be forced sent to the turbine. Due to the flash, okay, the turbine blades start rotating, so power will be generated. So this is the second method that is called flash steam plant. Third method is binary cycle plant. So what is mean by binary means binary is nothing but two cycles. So one cycle is okay used for sending the water inside to the heat zone and suck the water. So by this way one cycle is rotated with help of heat exchanger unit. Okay, so the heat taken from your hot well source, okay, that will transfer with another one cycle. So another one cycle is water, steam is okay going to turbine and power generation. After that, again the steam is comes to the heat exchanger unit. So in the previous cycle, the first cycle, we have already steam will be generated with help of motor source. So that steam heat energy can be transformed, okay, transferred with help of heat exchanger unit. So again, low pressure vapor of your turbine, okay, is converted into high pressure vapor that again goes to turbine, generate the power. So with help of two cycles, that is binary cycle, heat can be exchanged from one cycle to another cycle. So with help of that, power generation will be takes place. So this is another type of geothermal power plant. And the last one is hard, dry rock. So some rock is very hot condition, but it is dry. And that source water is not presented in the rock. Okay, we have to send the water, high pressure water. Okay, so normally hot dry rock is in the form of high pressure. Okay, so this is the pressure type. Okay, so high pressure is acting on the layer of your surface, inside layer of your surface. So we have to send the water and take up the heat. That means heat will be exchanged. Then water can be converted into steam. That steam can be utilized for power generation. So by this way, the four methods can be utilized, okay, for power generation in the geothermal. One is dry steam plant, second one is flat steam plant, third one is binary cycle plant, and the last one is hard dry rock. So next, what are the advantages of geothermal plant? So geothermal plant is mostly is eco-friendly. So less gaseous emission, low maintenance, good alternative for fossil fuel, home ground energy, save energy up to 50% comparison with conventional system, independent of weather, a sustainable source of energy. Okay, so these are the advantages. Mostly it has a lot of advantages, only some of limited disadvantages. So the disadvantages may cause the land subsidence that can lead to increase the seismic effect. Seismic effect means due to high heat energy can be utilized in that area, so that will be affected the environment zone. Okay, particular areas. Okay, for which area we have implement this kind of planting, that area the heat condition is high. Uh, so this is the one of the main disadvantages. And can salinate the soil of water is not injected back into the reservoir after the heat is extracted. So the water is not injected back into the reservoir means, okay, it will goes to the soil means the soil may be affected. So these are some hard gases also come out from your H2S gas come out from your, sometimes it's come out from your rock area, that also if you inhaling, if the person working in the plant, if they inhale means that will cause a severe damage to the person. Okay, so health effects may be affect, maybe happen. Okay, so these are the some of the disadvantages. Okay, so if energy consumption by different energy sources, okay, in that you can see only in the world level 0.2% of energy can be utilized for geothermal purpose. Okay, and remaining 0.5% solar power plant is used, 1.9% wind power can be utilized for generation of power, 16.1% we are using coal-based power plant, 36.1 36.2 petroleum and natural gas with help of that 29% we are generating power, and hydrogen 2.4 percentage, biomass 4.8 percentage, and with help of nuclear energy 8.5 percentage energy is produced in US. Okay, so this is the general figure in US for energy consumption by different energy sources. So around 6.5 percentage of electricity generation in the world is done by geothermal energy, and India can play important role in the coming years in this direction. Geological Survey of India has identified about 340 geothermal hot springs in the country. So we have identified 340 points, hot spring area. Okay, we have in our India. Most of them are in low surface temperature, ranging from 37 degree to 90 degree, which is suitable for direct heat application. Grouped into 7 thermal province Himalayas. So where it is located means Kambe Basins, Sahara Valley, okay, Narmada Dabadi region, and Himalayan region, and Western Ghats, Godavari basins, Mahanadi basins, so West Coast, sorry, West, not Western Ghats, West Coast areas, okay, we can see the hot spring area from in India. So with help of this 340 geothermal hot springs, okay, we can develop, okay, heat energy, that heat energy can be placed for power generation. If you see the world level, around 6.5% of the electricity generation done by geothermal energy. Okay. A new location of geothermal power energy has been found in Tattapani in Chandigarh. Okay, this is one another one geothermal power is production now started. In the state of Chhattisgarh, and Gujarat is set up as geothermal electricity so resources which are available in the Gambia between Narmada and Tabadi river. So in the Narmada and Tabadi river, the government of Gujarat has started the geothermal power plant. Okay. India's first geothermal power plant is come up in Chhattisgarh. So the plant is Tattabani. Okay, Tattabani is the first geothermal power plant in India. National Thermal Power Corporation has already, NTPC, has already started exploratory and preparatory work in this area. It has also started talks with the Oil and Natural Gas Corporation and International Organization for Drilling Operations. So this is about the current prospects of geothermal energy in India. Okay. So here you can see the geothermal map of India. So where the around 340 geothermal hot spring area is founded. Okay, so these are the hot spring areas. That is geothermal map in India. So geothermal facts, if you see, so biggest producing geothermal energy countries are Italy, Mexico, Philippines, Japan, USA, Indonesia, New Zealand, and Iceland. So these are the countries are mainly focusing geothermal area. They are the big producers of geothermal energy. And United States generate 3,386 megawatts of geothermal electricity. That largest group of geothermal power plants located in the Gales, California. Okay, so in that area, the world largest power plant is located. In the Philippines, okay, they generated 23% of electricity from geothermal energy. Is the producer, world second producer behind the US. So US is the first producer. That is around 3,386 megawatt they are producing, and 23% Philippines is producing. The first geothermal power station was built in Landillo in Italy, and the second was in the New Zealand. Okay, so this is about the world geothermal facts. In Iceland, 86% of the space heating, okay, for geothermal energy can be replaced, and 60% percentage of their electricity generation uses geothermal energy. So our India is only little amount of geothermal energy is used for power generation. Okay. Now only we are starting the power plant. The first power plant is in Chhattisgarh, that is Tatapan. Okay. So that's all about the geothermal power plant. If you have any doubt, now you can ask. Please see a video,
No
then
doubt,
you
sir.
can understand better.
Geothermal power plant. In this session, we will study the geothermal energy, review the history of geothermal power plant, study the working principle of a geothermal power plant, specify the advantages and disadvantages of a geothermal power plant. Geothermal energy is the heat energy acquired by the earth. Here, the source of the heat is earth, hence the name is geothermal. Heat inside the earth is available at a depth of more than 80 kilometers. In some locations, it is available at a depth from 300 to 3000 meters. Such locations are referred to as geothermal fields. Geothermal energy is used for heating water, air conditioning, electricity generation, greenhouse heating, etc. History of geothermal power plant. The world's first geothermal power plant was built in the year 1911 in Larderello in Italy. Working principle of a geothermal power plant. There are three types of geothermal power plants. Let us study the working of each. First is the dry steam power plant. In this power plant, steam is generated directly from the geothermal reservoir. This steam is directly supplied to the turbine, which is coupled with a generator. The flow of steam causes the turbine to rotate. And because of this, the generator produces electric energy. After rotating the turbine, steam goes through the condenser where it is converted into water. This water is called as condensate, and it is injected back into the earth through the injection well. Natural dry steam hydrothermal reservoirs are very rare. The next type is the flash steam power plant. This type is used where there is an availability of geothermally heated water at a high temperature of over 350 Fahrenheit. This water is called as brine, and it is transferred to a vessel where steam is generated. This steam drives the turbine coupled with the generator to produce electricity. The waste brine is injected back into the earth. Last is binary cycle power plant. This is used when the geothermal resource is at lower temperature of up to 100 Fahrenheit. Here, the hot water is passed to a heat exchanger which is combined with the secondary liquid with a lower boiling point such as butane and pentane hydrocarbon. A mixture vapor is generated and it runs the turbine. The mixture vapor is cooled by condenser and the liquid is recycled. Wastewater is injected back to the earth. As this power plant requires two liquids, water and secondary liquid, it is called a binary cycle power plant. Let us study the advantages and disadvantages of a geothermal power plant. Thermal and nuclear power plants need fuel to produce electricity, whereas geothermal plant does not need any fuel for production of electricity. Ultimately, this saves expenses on fuel. Geothermal plant does not pollute the environment. It requires minimum land space compared to the other plants. However, geothermal power plant has some disadvantages. As geothermal fields are not available universally, these power plants are found rarely. The cost of infrastructure and drilling is also very high. In this session, we learned about geothermal energy, the history of geothermal power plant, working principle of a geothermal power plant. We also learned its advantages and disadvantages.
Okay, you have any doubt now you can ask. Otherwise, we can leave this. So this is about.
No doubt, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Now you can leave.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So thank you, students. Now you can leave.